Welcome back to here with another dose, a special dose of the Truth Scope. Obviously, I have a very special guest. If you've been on this channel for any time at all, you know who I'm talking about. The one, the only Michael Peeples. Give me about 2 minutes and I'm going to bring him on the show. Got to touch on a couple things, all right, y'all? First and foremost, I know I have not been putting out much content the normal way, I will say, because I've been doing a lot more lives based off the reviews that I got from the post that I made about a month ago. To be honest with you, I don't really like doing that many lives. I know this is a live, nothing against lives, but it kind of breaks me up from what I do best. And I feel like I could pump out the content much quicker, much more effective, like I've been doing when I do it my way. So thank you all for the feedback. I appreciate it immensely. I'll revisit the live aspect down the road, but I feel like it's taken away from what I normally do, and I feel like I'm shorting y'all, and I do not want to do that. I want to get back. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I need to touch on this stuff. And doing these lives is not conducive to what I'm trying to accomplish. So again, thank you all for participating in that poll. Much appreciated. But for the time being, I will be going back to how I was doing it before. You will not be seeing my face from many of the videos, but you will be hearing my voice, and I will be delivering that good. Okay. Also, I do have merch. If you've been watching any of the lives that I've just been talking about, you've seen the merch. I have the hoodies. I have the sweatshirts. I have mugs. I got stickers. I got everything. I got stuff for kids. I got everything. Click the link below. You can go to the shop. All of the proceeds, well, not all the proceeds, all the proceeds that go to me, literally go to me. Okay, so it's only going to help this channel grow. I can get better equipment. This mic is nothing against it, but I could do better. We could do better, y'all. So again, much appreciated to all of that. With that being said, without further ado, I will be bringing on my special guest, Mr. Michael Peeples, the one and only motivational speaker. Get the Q Fusion in the comments. Yes, let me put that on the screen. Shout out to Q Fusion, the one and only Mr. Michael Peeples, motivational speaker, author. I told y'all about this book a long time ago. If you didn't get yours, get it. We're gonna leave the link below. We're gonna leave all the links below. This episode is gonna be jam packed. All right. This book is a must read. It's a must have for any bookshelf or personal library. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you for having me once again. Man, I remember our last time we were on here, we did something special. We really did. I believe we really impacted so many lives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And hey, look, man, that's something that you and I both aim to do in our own, lanes, if you will. So whenever we come together, it's gonna be magic.
Yes, yes,
It's like a Malcolm and Martin coming together. You
yes.
know good things are gonna from it. You just know it. All right. You have two brothers that embrace the truth, that understand the correct moves to be made, and aren't going to pull any punches when it comes to getting that across.
Yes.
Magic happens. So you know what? Let's start off with the book. Now you released this book uh almost a year ago.
About a year ago, yes, yes, yes. Sink, sink or swim, are you washing your dreams away? Man, and I wrote this book because I believe so many of us have dreams, and as we get older, we start to our dreams start to feel further and further away. And I find that so many of us are forget how to dream due
Mm.
to life circumstances. There's a portion of us who no longer believe in ourselves. And I believe that not believing yourself and not having that dream, they merge together. It comes together, and you need both of those things. And it's just so crucial to really live a prosperous life and live in abundance and fulfillment, it's just critical to go after your dreams. I really can't stress that enough because you could have a wonderful home to the marriage and relationships and things of that sort, beautiful family, but at the core of you inside, you still won't be fulfilled. You still won't be your most happiest. You won't have the most joy in your life.
Great message. Let me ask you a question, just to expound on that a little bit. So, because I've read the book, and again, if y'all haven't read the book, look,
Yes,
it's not gonna break the bank. It's not gonna break your mind. You know what I mean? Like it's real. It's a nice, easy read, but it's the message. It's the message. So again, I'm gonna be referencing some things in the book. Spoiler alert, a little bit, right? But with that being said, I have to ask this question for those who haven't read the book and that
yes,
they might be saying, okay, why should I get this book?
yes. You should get it if you're battling, knowing that you are looking to achieve more. When you're on that fence of, you know what, I don't really like my job, but I need it to survive at the same time, but I still have a dream. Balancing the balancing act, knowing that you deserve more, but how do you handle the different distractions and difficulties al- along the way of bringing your dream into fruition?
Hmm.
And it's so imperative. You can get this book at beyouandprosper.com/shop. And also you have the merch as well too, the hoodies. You can get a hoodie as well too at
Perfect. And I put the link.
beyouandprosper.com/shop.
I put the link in the comments. Those who are on YouTube, you can just click that link. It'll take you right there. For those on Facebook, it is BUN Prosper. That is one word.com//shop. All right. So moving on from there, I will be pulling up a couple videos that Mr. Michael Peeples and I are going to break down because we're going to chop it up because obviously this is called the Truth Scope. So we discuss the truth here. That's what this is about. And obviously I have I couldn't ask for anyone better to come on the Truth Scope and discuss the truth. So as I pull up this video, I just want to ask you one thing. How was your Valentine's Day?
Man, my Valentine's was good. I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it.
Good, good. Did you wind up going out somewhere, having to wait in a long, long line because you forgot to make a reservation, like
You know that.
most? Yeah, hey, fellas. Look, I'll tell you what, fellas. It's okay. It's always next year, right?
Yes.
or God willing, God willing is always next year. So I'm gonna pull up the first video, and it's going to be a video by none other than what's this hoe's name? No, I'm joking. Candace Parker. Candace Parker. Candace Parker. I'm talking about the WNBA. Jesus Christ. Candace Owens. Speaking
Okay.
of Candace Owens, she has a great book too. Her book. I'm not sure how many books. Oh Lord, it's too loud. She has a book. I don't know how many she has, but the one that I've read is actually a decent read. Now I know most people, most quote unquote black people, would sit here and say the second you say Candace Owens, they're gonna look at you with a scrunch face and try to call you a Uncle Tom this and Uncle Tom that. But you know, we have to be above certain things. So I'm gonna pull up this video now. There we go. And we're gonna hear what Candace Owens has to say about quote unquote black issues, and then we'll break that down. All right, so we can see that nice and clear. Let me go here. Let's play.
I'm very curious, in your opinion, what would you say are the biggest issues plaguing Black America today, in your personal opinion?
Number one is
Oh, that's not good.
father absence. Everything that happens is secondary to that. Like it all falls apart once you remove fathers from the home. And I talk about that often. Actually,
Jesus, this is not good. Oh Lord.
Barack Obama spoke about this. He gave a Father's Day speech,
Yes.
and we're talking about all the statistics of what
Why? I already had this video loaded. Bear with us, y'all.
happens when you remove a father from the home. One simple thing: remove a father from the home, and a child is 9 times more likely to end up in prison, 6 times more likely to drop out of school. 12 times more likely to end up in prison, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 6 times more likely to lead a life of poverty, right? One single element. And there are actually policies that since the 1960s have incentivized that for Black America. That's when everything fell apart for Black Americans. Our families were together, kids were performing better. I mean, in every statistic, Black Americans were doing better. Think about this, under Jim Crow laws, right, than they are doing today. Now, nobody would say America has become a more racist society since Jim Crow laws. If they did, they'd be disingenuous and they'd be lying to you, right? So what happened? Well, you tore apart our families, and you turned us into a culture of baby mamas, which is now reflected in our music. So when I talk about Black culture and I say things that need to be changed, our music has taken a hit. I go back and I listen to the music I grew up on, and I grew up in my grandfather's home. The Temptations, Diana Ross, music that was about love, feeling good, men that were dressed in suits. Now we have Cardi B. Cardi B's new song is a number one song right now, right?
You don't like WAP?
All right, listen. I'm not, think about what has happened to Black
I
culture
rock with you.
from My Girl,
Yeah.
I've Got Sunshine and a Cloud a Day,
Yeah.
to WAP, which we couldn't even. You wouldn't feel comfortable if I told you to read the lyrics right now for your show. Music,
Chris did it though.
right? Yeah, right. I'm not saying that. She has.
All right. Have you heard all of that?
Yes.
Okay. What are your? I mean, obviously we got halfway through the video, but what are your thoughts so far on that? Do you agree, disagree, or do you just have something else to say entirely about the situation?
Well, I believe that Candace Owens is making some valid points in terms of the father needing to be in the home, because you can't do everything by yourself. It's a team effort.
Mhm.
And then understanding that the child is able to see a father and a mother working together as a unit, and understanding that when they get older, they see, okay, my parents were married, they grew up in the house, and now my expectation is the same.
Hmm. Yeah, I could definitely get with that. It's easy to maintain a healthy household when you've witnessed a healthy household, right?
Absolutely,
Basically,
yes, yes,
and unfortunately, like to what Candace was saying, I have to agree with as well. When you strip the father, and you know what, y'all, I'll go this far. I'll take it to this level. Um, Obviously, my channel is geared towards quote unquote Black men, but I'll take it to this level. If you strip away any integral piece to the family unit, you're going to have dysfunction and chaos. Now the father, I believe, is the biggest, most important cog in all of that. So, father, you are destined. In my opinion, you are destined for uh, not many great things. It's just not. It's just not in the cards for most, unless you're a LeBron James, and you're freaking gifted beyond belief. Your average Joe, quote unquote, Black dude, isn't going to reach those heights,
mm,
and coming from that situation. Now, again, I'm not saying that just because you come from that situation that you shouldn't strive for great heights. No, you should always strive for great heights, and that is basically what you talk about, right?
yes,
That is totally your lane.
yes,
So
yes.
so I want to segue that into. I want to open the floor up to you, right, to discuss or to talk to my audience about why you're never counted out.
Mm. Because at the end of the day, you set the mark for yourself. You can determine how far you'll go, or if you want to continue to live an average life. Now, there's nothing wrong with an average life. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own dreams and desires. But if you're looking to exceed expectations, it's going to be essential for you to have that lock in, hyper focused, and not get distracted by the very enticing things at the particular moment. In terms of you just hang out with your friends, you may have to cancel with your friends and go do some more research on their business or on their career or being able to study for that math test that's going to require you a certain level of discipline and focus. And knowing that there's one person in the household makes it a little more difficult and challenging during that process because um if a single mom is raising, let's say, two kids, they're having to keep food on the table, and the balancing act is very difficult. But it's doable. Is it challenging? Yes. But as I always say, anything worth having doesn't come easy, and it's going to require you a level of sacrifice, takes a level of faith, and not allowing yourself to get caught up in the challenges and not beat yourself up. And it's hard. It's hard, but it's doable. It's doable though. You have to understand and believe that it is doable. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow, but with hard work, discipline, and faith, and determination and tenacity, you can get there.
I love that. I hope everyone out there is writing this down because it's doable. As he just said, when you have your back against the wall, when you think you can't get any lower, and you want to throw in all the cards and you just want to give up and quit, that's when you need to dig deep the most. Because nobody that has anything today just had it given to them. Because even the people that you might say, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, Donald Trump, this takes so much work that you probably would not be able to do in your mindset today. Not you. I'm talking about the majority of y'all that would give me that, right? To maintain that business.
Yes,
You know
yes,
how many family-owned businesses get passed down and then it doesn't make it to the next level of family? It's
yes,
not. It's not just hey, I just inherited a GM Financial. I'm
yes,
rich. No,
yes,
no, 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 no. You have to maintain that. You have to have business savvy. And if you don't, you have to at least have the awareness to know that you don't have that. And you need people around you that do have that.
well
So
said, well said.
so no matter what, there's always work that has to go into it. Oftentimes I see, now this is me speaking anecdotally, our people like to talk about, hey, this and this, we don't have that, we don't have this, we wish we had that, we have this. We have to create the opportunities for ourselves.
Yes, yes,
As long as we wait, and this is anybody, whether you are quote unquote black, quote unquote white, Asian, red, purple, whatever the hell whatever you are, if you have a dream, if you don't begin to actionize that and materialize that, as long as it stays here, it will forever stay there. It will forever stay there. I urge everyone, whatever it is, start.
yes, 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 yes. And I don't want to dilute that point of having it here in your mind because that's critical. That's absolutely essential because I believe if you can see it, you can achieve it. Because man, God didn't give you that vision for no reason. He gave it to you for a reason. And it's up to you to put the motion behind it. And you have to be willing to put in that work. And I think that we're living in a time and we hear this saying going on, work smart but not hard. See, I disagree. I believe you need both of those things. You need a strong work ethic. You need that. You need that more than anything. And you have to be able to work hard and work smart. Why can't you do both?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, he getting hot now, y'all.
It's
Hey, I
it's,
love that, brother.
it's
Yes.
imperative because you can't do one without the other. It's like it's like peanut butter and jelly.
Agreed, man. Yeah, you know what? That was a great analogy. Oftentimes you hear people say stuff like that, whether it's at work or in your own family, and it's
Yes.
true. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. They
Yes.
can
Yes.
be inclusive. They can be symbiotic. They should be symbiotic.
Yes. Yes. And we just have this mindset of I need one, but I don't need the other. No, you need both. You need both. You need both of them.
Let me let
It's
me let me bring you in to this. This is where I really want to go. I wanna not too deep, but I do want to discuss quote unquote black people. Obviously, that's why I used the video of Candace Owens. So for quote unquote black people, now obviously you're quote unquote black. I'm quote unquote black, right? I'm from Brooklyn. You care to tell the audience where you're from?
I, I'm from New Jersey.
All right. Well, I mean, you want to get a little bit more. I mean, you don't tell them where you live now, but I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Okay.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm from I'm from Central Jersey, although I can say I grew up in the suburbs, but then I have family who grew up in the inner city, so I had the best of both worlds. So I could understand and see different points of view, and also I worked in the inner city too, so I have a good mixture.
Oh, perfect. All right. So, being that you've been able to weave between obviously two different worlds, what would you say from your own eyes, your own experience, um, are a few? You could just name one, but if you want to go on, just a few, right?
Mhm.
Um, Obstacles that are holding Black people back. Now, whether that's internal, external, or acts of God, or what have you.
Mm. I would say that in now make sure I answer this the best way and so that the viewers and the listeners get the most value from it. Are you in terms of you breaking it down from the standpoint of the suburban life and the inner
No,
city?
I
Okay,
I want just like overall broad because you both.
okay,
So you can see
cool.
the people in the inner city and see what their struggles are, and you also have seen the people in the suburbs and what their struggles are.
Yes,
Is there
okay.
any overlap? Is it like what's actually holding quote unquote Black people back? What do you hear quote unquote Black people say are holding them back, and what do you believe is actually holding them back?
I believe at the end of the day, a lot of us, we're strong people, but then sometimes we give up too easy. We give up too easy. When things get hard sometimes, we decide to grow in the towel right before when the greatness is about to emerge. And right there on the cusp of where we see in our mind that we've always dreamed about, and we give up right before when things are about to happen. And another point I would say is lack of courage. It takes courage to really go after your dreams. And sometimes when you've been dealt with a bad hand, when dealt with a bad set of cards, you can easily sit back and coast and say, man, everything around me has told me there's no point of me even succeeding. There's none, and I just think that the lack of courage and we give up too easy. I would say those 2 points there I have seen us hold us back from what we can become and what we truly are.
I definitely would have to agree with that. Before I go on, I do want to read the chat. I put it on the screen. It's from Slewfoot Slim. Thank you for obviously being in the chat, representing and holding us down tonight, Slewfoot Slim. Um, I feel that it is the dysfunctional culture in Black America that's holding back. Before I give my take on that, what are your thoughts on Slew Fit Slim's comment right there? Do you agree, disagree? Let us know.
The dysfunctional culture. I would say in terms of the music that we have, and that's a big part of our development. Sometimes the music can distract our ultimate goal. If let's say you want to be an engineer, for instance, and the music that is offered to us and that is displayed is gives you a more of a difficult opportunity depending on a lot of these artists that the music that they push. It says, man, what's the point of even becoming an engineer when I could be out there hustling, making money? Because the imagery that it's pushed towards us. And I think about that too. So that this functional piece is somewhat true. But then when you meet brothers like yourself who has risen from those challenging neighborhoods and has made it and has become a success. So it makes you wonder, like, man, like if you truly want something, you can go after it. And yes, the dysfunctional part plays a role. But then back to what I was saying that anything worth having doesn't come easy. You
Mhm.
you have to you're going to be thrown everything from the kitchen sink at you because we're black. No matter what, we can't escape that. I don't care if you are running a multi-million-dollar company, you're still gonna go through hardships and difficulties and people doubting your business, whatever it may be. So no matter what, you're still gonna have those obstacles because you're black. You're still gonna face those challenges, but you can't allow those challenges to stop you from making something out of it
Mhm.
and just being able to have that desire and that hunger. You should allow those obstacles to to figure out how you can jump over those hurdles and don't allow them to become barriers. You have a
Mhm.
choice at the end of the day. Yes, the dysfunction is there, of course, but you don't have to allow that to become your part of your story, part of the final chapter. You can continue to write the book, or you can allow to close it and not continue to add more pages to it.
I agree. I agree with much of that. You know what? Hey, thank you for that. I agree with much of that, and thank you for the comment, Slewfoot Slim. And I'm gonna give my little take on that because I agree with you, Mike, and I also agree with Slew. But this is where we diverge, and those that have been on the channel, you already know where I'm gonna go. Uh, you know the there is no quote unquote black culture. That's the issue right there. So of course there's going to be dysfunction when you have a black culture because black is what the fuck? What is black? It's not a race. It's not a culture. It's not a history. Right now is quote unquote Black History Month. What the fuck does that mean? What are these? What are our babies being taught right now in schools across the nation because it's February? What did they learn? Black people used to be slaves. They were treated bad, so don't treat them bad anymore. Um, they had a hard time, so we got to make it easy for them now. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. That's the gist. That's what black is from the school standpoint. If you ask anybody else what black, you're gonna talk about Young Thug, Gunna. They're gonna talk about hip hop culture, which is pop culture, which I've said so many times before. Hip hop culture is pop culture,
Mhm.
and pop culture is global culture. Whatever quote unquote black people do, whether it's just singing, rapping, or dancing, it gets picked up and it goes global. That's why our people, our performers, get to do global tours. So again, it's not a real culture. It's something that's being monetized, but we don't reap the benefits.
Mm, mm, mm.
We don't reap those benefits from these world tours that they're doing. We don't.
Can we sit here for a second?
Yes.
Can we
Oh
sit
yeah.
here for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of us are screaming independent. Let's be independent. Let's be independent. Which I wholeheartedly believe, but do we understand what it takes to truly be independent? Because we see, let's say, let me think of a label, Cash Money.
Mm-hmm.
Cash Money is the label, but please understand the people who own Cash Money is Universal Records.
Mm-hmm.
I I use the example of, let's say you go to Target. Target is the store, but then inside of it, each department has a certain section, and so then you'll have a supervisor for the grocery section, for instance, things that sort. So they're focused on that particular area and get in control of that particular sector. But but in terms of us owning it, no, because as much as we respect Birdman and Slim, who is more behind the scenes, it's not because Birdman,
Mm-hmm.
but it's and they were able to negotiate a phenomenal deal. But although they they control what they um, offer and own, but at the end of the day, they truly don't make that final call because they still have Universal Records overseeing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if we really want to preach ownership, you have to get up in the mud, and then you necessarily can't always be willing to partner with a a Universal Records or some other entity out there, because as soon as you involve someone else's money in play, they
Mm-hmm.
want to have a say so.
Oh yeah.
They want to have a say so. So we need to truly understand the definition of independence when it comes to music. And
Or artistic creation in general, I believe.
yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, because it's important, especially as Black people, that we own our stuff.
Yeah.
And now we can go through history because we were robbed because we necessarily weren't educated properly. They
Mm-hmm.
they they stole from us, and now that we have this information at the tool of our hand with our cell phones, it's just essential that we own our stuff.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Have you seen the Black Panther movie? Not the sequel, the first one with Chadwick Boseman.
No, I never saw.
No. Oh man.
Never.
It was a good one. Wakanda. No, I'm joking.
I
I'm
definitely heard
joking.
about it. I definitely heard about it.
So in that movie, and I bring this up for a reason, I'm gonna get to it, right? So in that movie, Michael B. Jordan's character was basically the antagonist to the Black Panther, who was the
Okay.
protagonist, and his name was Killmonger. And maybe it was one of the first scenes in the movie. He's in an art museum or an ancient history museum, some kind of historical museum, because they had ancient quote unquote African artifacts, right? And he's standing there looking at one of the pieces behind this like glass thing. And a Caucasian woman walks up to him, and then she starts talking to him about the piece and the art and how beautiful it is. And I don't want to slay the movie, and obviously spoiler alert, right? But that movie came out long ago. If I'm spoiling anything from y'all, it is what it is. So the she's talking about the art, and then he says, "Well, this was ours, and basically y'all stole it from us." You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just gonna take it right now because it belongs to me anyway. It never
Mhm.
belonged to you, and it damn sure don't belong to this damn museum that it's in because it wasn't always here. It came
Mhm.
from somewhere, and your people aren't the people that initially had it. So that scene was very polarizing and very galvanizing at the time, right? But what I want to do is I want the same energy, and I want to bring it to today because, like you just touched on, Cash Money Records, Universal Records, they own it. Many of our quote unquote black artists, whether it's musicians or actual artists, they do not
Mhm.
own their works. They don't own all of their works because whoever it is that's basically sponsoring them, they own it.
Mhm.
Or if not, they own the majority. They're the majority holder. So, and 200 years from now, when there's museums looking at quote unquote black history, black art, right? Like maybe Michael Jackson owned his stuff, but just say Michael Jackson did. He's one of many of he's few.
Yes.
Like you know what I mean. He's one out of like who else was doing that? No one, right? None of them owned their own shit, and that's why they got rid of my brother MJ. Rest in peace. But let's just say he didn't.
Mhm.
200 years from now, in some museum, they'll have the vinyl of Thriller in a museum that is not owned and or operated by our people.
Yes.
But that theft didn't come from behind our backs or in the shadows. It's happening today as we speak. So my question to you is, how should quote unquote feel, or what should they think about the fact that those artifacts were stolen and that they are in these museums today, and we all know how they got there, but yet it's still happening to this day, and we do nothing about it.
Man, that right there is a loaded question. But we have a right to be angry. We have a right to be angry and very frustrated because we see what's ours that we own, but through our not being knowledgeable, I'll say, back then, being cheated on in terms of getting promising things during the negotiation that wasn't fulfilled by the other party. We have a right to be very angry, every right to. However, today is different. We have access to the internet, but at the same time, although we have access to the internet, Google only works based on the questions you ask it. So if you're not asking the proper questions, it does you a disservice. So it's important that we truly immerse ourselves into the subjects that we desire. So whether it be ownership and how do we own a museum, for instance, in terms of how do we negotiate contract effectively, whatever it is, we need to truly immerse ourselves. We can immerse ourselves in waiting for the latest Jordans, all the frivolous stuff that truly have no value and meaning. And it's, man, we just have to just engulf ourselves in the information. And we have to be willing to share the information too.
Mhm.
So if you know something, it's imperative you pass it on to me and vice versa. And we share it with the world because and we care about people. Because man, it's just important that we don't get shortchanged. And I truly believe that we don't get what we deserve, we get what we negotiate.
I agree with that.
And we have to be strategic in our thinking and how we structure these deals that it not only benefits us today but tomorrow. And sometimes we get so short-sighted and we get enticed by the dollar amount that we see that we don't read the terms and conditions, and that's where we lose. It's the small details that truly separate you from the other people in terms of negotiating the best deal for yourself.
Let me ask you a
And
question
it's
there, brother.
go ahead.
Now we know it's common knowledge at this point that record labels have been exploiting artists, not even just quote unquote black artists, but artists in general,
Yes,
um, for decades, right? So my question to you would be, because I heard what you said and I agree with much of it, 90% of it at least. Why do quote unquote, because obviously the channel is about quote unquote black people, mainly black men. Why do these quote unquote black men still sign these terrible deals when they know what has happened in the past?
we signed those deals because of our current conditions, and we think, man, let me get this upfront money, and not understanding that it's a loan that you have to pay back. And if you're not educated properly, see, they record labels prey on our ignorance. They don't expect you to negotiate back with them and say, look, I don't want any upfront money. I want you to push this into the marketing, in into um, the quality of the sound for my music, whatever it may be. We get so caught up in the upfront money. Yes, it's needed based on our conditions, of course, but it's about negotiating effectively
Hmm.
and making sure that okay, and hire the right attorney. Don't use the attorney that the record company gives you because that's that's a conflict of interest.
Exactly.
And making sure that not only you hire an attorney, hire an entertainment attorney. Don't hire the criminal justice attorney. Don't hire the personal injury attorney. Hire the attorney who
Personal
specializes
injury.
in this field.
He said the personal injury attorney. He said don't hire the JG Wentworth.
But
My brother.
think about, because sometimes that's all we may know because that's what's plastered and highlighted towards us. Because think about it. When's the last time you seen on a commercial someone in the entertainment field? Have you ever seen a commercial with an entertainment lawyer?
No,
How would
no.
you know to look for one?
That's a good point. That's a good point, brother.
So it's just important that we do our homework and really study and watch previous interviews, read books. Just truly, obviously, not going to know everything, but just prepare yourself as best you can.
Yeah. Hey, man. Look, I think you just said a whole lot right there. Um, I don't I don't have much to say towards that. That isn't going to be copying what you just said. So as you were saying that at the latter end, I did pull up the next video that we're gonna pull up. Um, hopefully, this one plays a lot better than the other one. I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna break it down like we did the first video. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Let me bring it up. There we go. Perfect. And live. Let's bring it live. Let's bring it live. Okay. Okay. God damn. This guy. All the bass. I'm not gonna have no eardrums.
That's all you motherfuckers do is cry, bro. That's all they do on fucking Twitter. Well, I'm really black because my parents were here in 1945 and they know Martin Luther King. Shut the fuck up. That's why foreigners come to this country and laugh at you niggas, bro. Real talk. Chinese people come to this fucking country. You know what they do? They open up a fucking Chinese food spot in the hood. The Indian people, they go open up a convenience store in the hood. The Arabs, they come into the United States, they go put a fucking liquor store in the hood, and them niggas can't even drink. They laughing at you, stupid fucks. Because you guys come into the store, oh, hey son, let me get a pack of Hennessy. Yo, I only got 20 on me right now, bro. I know it's 50, but yo, do it. Hook a brother up. No, come back again with the money. They laugh at you niggas because you guys were born here with the opportunity, and they're making a killing off you stupid fucks because you guys speak English, born here, raised here, U.S. citizenship, and you're still a fucking loser. Going into a foreign nigga store, buying the fucking alcohol, crying and complaining about why you're not where you want to be, but you're drunk all the time off of fucking Hennessy. That's the truth in the black community. That's the fucking truth. You choose to be a fucking loser. Okay? And I don't want to hear nothing because if I get pulled over by the police versus you get pulled over by the police, the only difference is that I'm not going to be a fucking retard. I know how to move. I'm going to tell him, how you doing, officer? I'm going to keep my fucking hands on the steering wheel. I'm not going to call him a fucking dirty pig and say this other stupid shit. I'm going to walk off with no ticket. Your dumb ass is going to get in trouble because you want to sit there arguing with the police and say, defund the police, fuck the police, yeah. You create your reality based off of how you fucking behave, based off of how you act.
Hey, no disrespect to the brother that's talking right now. I don't know his channel. Thank you for letting me use that video, brother, even though I didn't ask you to. But basically, that's all I wanted that video for. I want to hear what you have to say about that, and then if we have time, I am interested in hearing what this brother has to say. So, what are your thoughts on what Myron? That's the dude's name. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Fresh and Fit, but the dude that was just speaking is Myron. Anyone that's been on my channel know I am not. I don't really get down with Fresh and Fit, and I definitely don't get down with Myron. But a broken clock is correct twice a day, so he got that one, so that's why we're using it. But again, what are your thoughts on that?
Man, I think a lot of us are in so much pain. That's why it's easier to deal with the pain in alcohol and things of that sort as opposed to dealing with the root issue. And it's not that we're lazy. A lot of us are just tired with so many obstacles getting through the day. Some of us don't have the proper nutrients in our system, having a healthy meal, being able to eat and not finding employment, and it's so easy to tap out. It's so easy to give up. But the point where he made instead of we allow people in our community to start to own barbershops or convenience stores, wherever it may be, with ease. To some degree, he is right. The simple fact, because our people, we are very welcoming. We're very loving. We will welcome with open arms. And we are quick on board. The sad part is we're quick to support the person of a different race opening up the store than one of us opening up that same convenience store. Mm-hmm. We're our own worst enemy at times. That's the frustrating part. Mm-hmm. Because we can do so many wonderful things because a lot of us don't think it's possible that we could own a building. Yes, you can own that store. You might not have all the capital, but if let's say the building costs $30,000, you have you have three friends. You all put $10,000 up. $30,000 got the building, for instance, for the down payments. Is doable, but we have to take the acting steps, as you alluded to earlier. You have to be able to put one step forward each day and not get discouraged when things don't go well the first time. And I think that's a big part of it too, is that we've given up mentally because we've been grown so many roadblocks and obstacles that that we don't have the excitement and the hunger and the desire and the and and that burning desire, and it's challenging. He made some valid points, but at the same time, he some of his points was inaccurate.
If you don't mind, if you can recall, go into detail on some of the inaccurate points.
The point of all we do is drink Hennessy and things of that sort. That's inaccurate. Like all we do is smoke whatever things you want to. That's not all we do. That's not all we do. We're not a monolithic group. And I think that he was painting us with a broad brush.
Very broad.
And that's not accurate. We have so much genius in our neighborhoods that sometimes it can be discouraging, as I have stressed throughout this whole show. But it's doable. It's doable. It's about finding like minds. And it may not be many of you. Maybe
Yeah.
two, maybe one, but that's all you need to become stepping stones for each other.
Agreed. I think that's a huge. I'm sorry to cut you off, brother, but I think that is a huge point, and I want you to repeat that, please.
That we find like-minded people in the neighborhoods and understand that the ideas that you're thinking, there's someone else thinking those same ideas. It's just about finding that person or a group of people. And and I'm not sure if you are familiar with this book called The Pack. It was about these three black men. I believe they grew up in Newark, New Jersey, and they all became doctors.
Oh wow, no, not familiar.
Yes, they all became doctors, and they would just build off each other, each other, and they built the pack since the name of the book. And it's just that you find those people and you hold on to each other, and 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 there's gonna be storms that are gonna try to break you all apart and try to push you away from each other, but you two have to come together and just become like a chain fence and and hold on to each other, and like I said, become each other stepping stones and and build off of each other, empower each other, encourage each other. But it's doable, like we said, it's doable because the excuses are there. The excuses are right in front of us. We see it all the time, and and that that it's easy to settle. It's easy, but I believe that's what separates the great from the average.
Hmm.
They don't allow those those hurdles to become roadblocks. We choose to jump over those hurdles and and don't allow them to stop you and stop us. And and but the unfortunate part through all this, all of us are not gonna make it.
Oh yeah.
That's the sad part. That's the reality that no one wants to talk about. Unfortunately, everybody's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
But you just hope that they're able to make the best of their circumstances, that they don't get caught up in the system,
Hmm.
that they're able to have the self-awareness to recognize the danger that they might be heading, and instead of going down that dangerous path, they go get a job at Walmart or Home Depot
Hmm.
and to just survive. And they may not live the outstanding lifestyle of the rich and famous, but they're able to stay out of trouble, keep food on the table for themselves and their family. But
Yeah,
but man, because that lifestyle is so enticing.
yeah. But you're right. And I think also that for quote unquote black people, I mean, this applies to all demographics, but obviously my channel is very specific.
Hmm.
Uh, we get enticed with, like, think about it. If you're quote unquote black, if you're a young quote unquote black boy, right, and you're growing up, you see great black athletes, whether it's basketball, football, even baseball. You see them. You see, uh, or you listen to great black musicians, whether they be singers, rappers, DJs, right? You see it. You see all of this. So it's all in front of you, right? Like, hey, like, there's representation in all these fields, but the likelihood through to any of these fields, of those fields, is very low, very very low. So not even almost. It is very misleading.
It is.
Because I know one of the many talking points that the super wokey wokes have is that well, we always want representation. It's always a representation thing. The things that I just spoke about, we have representation,
Hmm.
but I don't think that representation is conducive to us having like a real firm community. Because if it was, then we'd have it, and we
Mm.
don't. Again, all those fields and industries, it's a pipe dream. It's a
Mm.
pipe dream. Because, like you just said, not all are going to make it. But when it comes to those fields, even fewer are going to make it. Think about it. Drake has been a relevant rapper for over 10 years.
Yes.
So it's like a union job. Like when you're good and you get in, you hold it for a while. Jay-Z, Kanye, they've been doing it for so long. They're holding up spots. So it's not even like, like
Mm.
like there's always entry. No, there's not. There's not. There's only a select few. Because yeah, you could be a rapper, right? Technically, I'm a rapper. I got an
Hmm.
album on Spotify right now streaming. But
Hmm.
like that's not my thing. I just
Yeah.
I'm a content creator, so that's how that came about. But again, there's rappers, of course, but you're not Jay Z, you're not Drake,
Hmm.
you're not Kanye.
Mm. Mm. I think that we can get, but this is why I believe representation matters. You may not be the artist on the on the center stage, but you can play behind the scenes. You can be the person, the manager. You can be the marketing person. You can be the promo person. You can be in radio. So many avenues in music that you can go down. You don't have to be the artist. And then I also think about this quote I say, it's it's easy to settle when the things around you give you permission to. I'll say it again. It's easy to settle when the things around you give you permission to.
You know what? I'm gonna add a little bit to that, because that's very profound, and that's very is very deep. Y'all need to think about what he just said, and not just apply it to animate objects. Say it one more time, please.
It's easy to settle when the things around you give you permission to.
When you have an idea, when you have a business idea, a plan that you're thinking about, and you tell a friend or your girlfriend, and they say, "Don't worry about that. Like, why you want to do all that? Let's just chill. Let's just go to the spot, get some bottles, and chill." That is a person doing what he just said. Say it again, please, my man.
It's easy to settle when the things around you give you permission to.
And it's not limited to just the things around you. The people
Yes,
around, the people that we surround ourselves with play a huge part in who we are and who we will be.
yes, yes.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, we are responsible for all of our actions. But there's also these forces coming from other people, whether they're doing it maliciously, whether they're doing it unknowingly, it's still
Mm,
taking place.
mm,
A very popular and very common saying is, "You are what you eat," because it's true. If you eat crappy, shitty food, you're probably not probably you're way more likely to get cancer and other diseases and all sorts of stuff. It's
mhm,
proven. And you know what else is true and proven? If you surround yourself with poor, shitty people, you are
mm,
going to reap poor, shitty outcomes.
mm, mm,
So I know that might be your best friend, that you might have been homies for the longest. Not saying that you got to cut them off completely, but you got to figure out how much to cut off for you to continue to grow. I think that a lot of quote unquote black people are stuck on that loyal stuff way too long. Loyalty is a great trait. It's a it's a great character trait. But ultimately, you cannot be loyal to your own fault.
mm, mm, mm. Wow, wow, powerful. I was thinking about this too, that your circle can support you, but it doesn't mean they'll help you build your vision.
Yeah. You know just as well as I know. The front. Hey, for those of you who don't know, we're about to take a trip down memory lane real fast. We've reached mark, so we will be bringing this to a close. But Mr. Michael Peeples, I met Michael Peeples. Whoa, probably about 2023 we in now, so probably like 2017, 18.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So about 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah,
Um, he was interviewing for a job, and we I think we spoke for about 2 hours.
we did.
I think we
We
spoke
did.
for about
We did.
two.
We did. I remember because you said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "You want to know the truth? You want me to lie to you?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I want to. I'm entrepreneur at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I knew I wanted my own business. And then somehow we start having discussion. Then you say about your businesses, and I start giving you ideas for your businesses, and
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
how the friendship started to cultivate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Man, I will never forget that. I will never ever forget that. Obviously, you and I have been friends for about 5, 6 years, and it
yeah,
started like I didn't know what was going to come from that interview. You know what I mean? It wasn't really. I didn't know this was going to come from it. But once we started talking, and again, I for our people, right, and brothers, when you're speaking to someone that's really about something, you can tell and you know. When you're talking to someone that's not about shit, you can tell and you know. It's your choice if you want to entertain the bullshit.
hmm,
I choose not to.
yeah,
When Michael Peoples was sitting across from me and we were speaking, you think I speak to everyone that comes in for a job interview for two goddamn hours? No, I don't. I'm very quick with it. I could tell. Like I want people that have dreams and have goals and actually have plans for said dreams and goals. Why? Because people might say, "Well, they're not going to be at your job for long." And my answer to that is, I'm not going to be here for long. I'm not going to be here for long. So
Mm.
one, I know that person has great work ethic, and they need this to fuel what they really want. So they're going to be here. They're not going to come in late. They're not going to not show up. All right? I know that. And number two, they're going to help fuel me and remind me that this is just a stepping stone. Because at that time, and still to this day, people call me, Aaron's the boss. The boss, ask him. I'm not the boss until the sign says my name on it. I
Ownership.
don't care if it says, store manager, general manager, whatever. It's not mine until it has my name on it. So I'm not the boss. Do not forget that. Ever, brothers. Remember, you are not the boss until you are. And when you are, you know. And
Now,
everyone doesn't have to be the boss.
yes.
Disclaimer. Disclaimer. It's okay to not be the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But for people like me, that when you work and do all these different ventures, and you say to yourself, something's not right here. Something's not right here. That's trying to put a triangle peg into a square hole.
Mm.
You can
Mm.
keep trying all the hell you want, but you know what? It's not the jobs. It's you. You don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to run your own shit because you're too opinionated. You have too many ideas, whether they're good or bad. Because you know what? It's going to take a lot of bad ideas to lead to a good idea anyway.
Well said. Well said. Well said. And I think that you know that a job is not for you.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing for me, I can speak when I knew entrepreneurship was for me, was when you speak up.
Mm-hmm.
You can't speak up at work.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
you can't speak up. You can't have an opinion.
nope,
You can't have an opinion.
nope.
And let me speak to the people who have a dream and who are still at work but are not where they want to be, but they have a dream, but their circumstances are telling them it's impossible to go for it. That's the reason why I wrote this book, because I was that person. Aaron was that person.
Yes.
It it's man going to work unhappy, going to work miserable, going to work knowing that you are destined for more, but your circumstances, your circle are telling you otherwise. Your friends are telling you the dream you have is crazy. You're too old. It costs too much money.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. You waited too long.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. No. If it's in you for a reason. God gave you that vision for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your job to see it through, to see it come to light. And once again, you can get this book at beyouandprosper.com/shop. I promise you, this book is filled with so much richness. It's so valuable. It's a short but potent read. You're going to want to bring it more than once. There's going to be gems in there that are going to hit you more than once. And I talk about friendships. I talk about friendships on the fence of you're at your job, but you want more. How do you balance that? How do you balance that? This book is a life changer. It's not only going to motivate you, inspire you, but it's going to transform you and help give you the legs to allow your dream to come to fruition, to give you the confidence,
Mm-hmm.
to inspire you, to give you the reinsurance to go after that. after that dream. By no means am I telling you to quit your job tomorrow, but what am I telling you that your dream is still available to you? It's still there.
Yeah.
Sink or swim. Are you washing your dreams away? It's up to you at the end of the day.
I agree with that 100%. There's a guy that I play basketball with who actually used to go to the gym that you and I worked at.
Wow.
I didn't meet him there. I met him on a basketball court, and he was talking about where he would play racquetball. And he told me, and I was like, I run that gym. So long story short, he was telling me that he's a lawyer. Well, I had kind of already knew that he was a lawyer, but I didn't know that he had became a lawyer because he's an older guy, like all white hair, is probably like in his like mid to late 50s, early 60s. But he only a lawyer about he's in his 40s. He told me
Wow.
in his 40s. So, and again, this is a Caucasian man. This is a Caucasian man. Because I know, quote unquote, brothers always talking about, oh, can't do this and I can't do that. The white man this and the white man that, and all of this. But he did it in his 40s. He didn't get no special scholarships or
Mm-hmm.
grants.
Mm-hmm.
He paid for it because he knew what he was doing was not for him.
Yes.
And he went to school. He went to law school. And then took the bar exam and passed it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that in his 40s.
It's never too late.
It's never too late, y'all.
Never
It's
too
never
late.
too late. It's never too late. As long as you start, as long as you're not afraid, as long as you're not on the like hinged on whether your friends or your circle are going to like totally like be with you and do it with you, then you're okay because ultimately all your friends can do is be them.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going to take the steps in your journey. It's up to
Yeah.
you to take the steps. It's up to you to write the pages of your own book.
Mm.
You have to do it. Like in Lord of the Rings, that journey. For those of you who haven't seen Lord of the Rings, spoiler alert, whatever. And that on that journey, Frodo Baggins of the Shire, he was tasked with the duty of taking the One Ring to Mount Doom and destroying it. That was for him. No one else could have done it because that was his story.
Mm. Mm.
So for you, for all of us, for Michael Peeples, he, Mr. Michael Peeples, y'all, he knows what his lane is. He's doing it. Y'all know what I do. I create this podcast. I do the short films. I have another short film coming out. Probably tomorrow, y'all. If not tomorrow, it's coming out Saturday. It's featuring a black man and a black son. It's a real good representation of father-son dynamics, especially in our community, quote unquote community, that we do not see.
Mm.
Hollywood is not trying to put this out, so I'm putting it out. Again,
Yes.
it's a short film. I'm working with very limited resources, so it is what it is. That's why we ask for donations. That's why we ask for all the help and support when it comes to the merch, when it comes to buying my merch, when it comes to supporting affiliates of this channel. Supporting Michael Peoples is supporting the Truth Media Network.
And
Now,
hoodies too. And you can purchase a hoodie as well too.
exactly. And that's a nice
Hoodie
hoodie.
as well too.
I,
And
I, I like the design too.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I need to stress this again that you have to want it. You have to want it. You have to be willing to get up and go for it. It's gonna be days it's gonna tell you to quit. It's gonna be days when you don't feel like doing it, when it looks dark, it looks bleak, you see no progress in your dream. But can you still believe in yourself and still have that work ethic with no results? Do you still have it in you? Do you still believe in yourself? Can you still sustain that work ethic? See, that's what separates the extraordinary man, the greats and extraordinary. That's what makes them significant. Because they're willing to go after it when they had a bad day, a bad week, a bad month.
Yeah. They keep going.
They keep going, and honestly, that's been one of my secret recipes. I can guess you can say that I've never given up. I've never given up. Yes, you may put a pause on your dream, but that pause doesn't mean you quit. You may have to go back to revise your plan, that blueprint that you have. That's okay. But you don't give up. You don't give up. You may have to pivot a little bit. That's cool. We all have to pivot. But you don't quit. You don't quit on yourself at the end of the day. You can't quit on yourself. You can't microwave greatness. It doesn't happen overnight. Ending or having, I've been saying it all night. Ending or having doesn't come easy. You have to test and see the true value behind it. It becomes easy to you. Man, you're worthy of your greatness. No need to die. No need to dilute it. No need to no longer hide behind it. Show the world. Show yourself. You're meant for more than what you have. You're meant to not survive, but to thrive. You were meant to prosper. You were designed to flourish. You were designed to thrive. You were designed to prosper.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts with your mindset. That mindset is everything. Because I believe you have to, man, the mind is powerful. You can't do anything without the right mindset. You have to be willing to dig deep. You have to be willing to go through hardships. And that way it can develop the character within you. It will teach you certain things about yourself that you can utilize down the line. You might be a short-term thinker, and that could be the reason why you're struggling. Because you want everything right now. We all do. We all want things right now, but then I had to really analyze and sit back and think. If I was awarded these opportunities right now, would I be able to handle it? You might fumble the relationship that you say you need, the opportunity because you are not right within yet. You have to be able to do that homework, self-diagnose of yourself. And it can be uncomfortable, but it's needed because it's a long-term game.
Wow, man. Great words right there, brother. That's a great way to close it out. But before we do, obviously we have to do our plugs.
Absolutely.
So first, I want to start off with very briefly. I want you to tell the audience about Be You and Prosper. What is it? What is your mission? What is your goal? How long have you been doing it? Go on, yeah. Let us know. Let them know. I know. Let them know.
Yes. I've been having my own company for a few years now. Be You and Prosper is a mindset. It's about tapping in the hearts and minds of millennials and Gen Zs, helping them overcome those mental barriers of self-doubt, overthinking, unsure what to do next, by reminding them the power of being yourself, by using your God-given gifts, talents, and principles, making sure it aligns with your vision so you can prosper.
There we go. Okay, I like that. All right, so a few years. That's what it's about. I already put the link for the merch in the chat. Let people know your YouTube, your other social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, if you want, all of that stuff where they can find you and find your material.
Great, great. My YouTube page is Be You and Prosper. You can find my company page on Instagram at Be You and Prosper, or you can find and you can find my personal page on Instagram and Twitter at People Speaks, and I'll put it all at the bottom of it in the chat. Man, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Once again, you can get my book, Sink or Swim, Are You Washing Your Dreams Away, at beyouandprosper.com/shop, and you can get the merchandise, the hoodie as well, at beyouandprosper.com/shop.
Perfect. And like I said already, I have mine. I've had mine. I've had mine. I've read this book. It is a must read. It is a must have for any personal library or library in general, especially coming from a contemporary. All right, he is not dead and gone. Knock on wood. He has not been assassinated. He's still here, and he is putting out great work. We don't have to wait till brothers are gone to start giving them their flowers. With that being said, those are all his plugs, his links. Now, you already know what time it is. It's Double A Hef. Do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to this video. This channel, it helps immensely to grow the platform. And I've noticed something, y'all, that my YouTube has been growing, but my Instagram has not been growing. I need y'all to go over to my Instagram page. You can find it. It's the same name that you see on the bottom right here underneath me where I'm pointing right there. Double A Hef. That's my Instagram name. All right. Please go over there, like and follow. It's not subscribe, but follow that stuff, please. It helps. Everything helps. We have to broadcast this message to a broader audience. Okay, because the truth. I'm about to put this in the group. Thank you, sir. The truth needs to be spread. The truth needs to be spread. We cannot hoard the truth for ourselves, okay? Other people need to hear what we're talking about because it could, for some, it could be the difference between life and death. And I know that may sound rather drastic, but it's true. Hold on, hold. Sorry, that did not totally go through for some reason. Again, you know, it could be life or death for some people in certain situations. So, you know, we don't want to. I'm having a hard time copying and pasting that. Let me see if I can do it like that. Okay. Let's see if this works. Bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to put this link in the chat so y'all can see it. Boom. You can see it. There you go. All right. Oh, perfect. Look at that. All right, so yeah, so kind of lost train of thought, but yeah, all the support that we get, that I get, that he gets, is all going to the same place. We have to help like-minded individuals in this sphere grow. This is a grassroots thing. Obviously, I wholeheartedly support Mr. Michael Peeples and Prosper as an organization. We are not the same. Obviously, I'm the Truth Scope. I have the Truth Media Network. We have our own thing. We have, you know, we're exclusive, but yet we are necessary towards the same goal. All right. So, and again, thank you so much for coming on the channel. It means so much to me. I'm sure that my guests are going to love this episode, like they did, like they did the last one. It's always a pleasure to have you. It's always a pleasure to have a young, great black mind speaking on any platform, let alone mine. So again, very happy to have you, brother. I hope you have a great night. I hope all of you have a great and blessed night. And like I said, you know, you probably won't be seeing many more lives from me coming in the near future. I'm going to get back to my nitty gritty. You're going to hear my voice. You will not get this beautiful place. But anyway, y'all, much love.